What do we make of this, then, that Theresa May is willing to let these Jihadi Britons face execution, to break the current convention that we have, that you make these arrangements, but it's on the basis that they are not executed?
I think this is a major departure from policy, and I'm not quite sure why they've decided to do this. Sajid Javid, I think, has had a really good start as Home Secretary, impressed a lot of people. You have a Tory leadership election sometime within the next year. You just wonder whether there's a populist element to this. You'd hope not. But I think this is his initiative rather than Theresa May's. And what it effectively does, it shatters sort of decades of British government policy, because we don't have the death penalty in this country. We haven't had it since, what, 1967, was it? And
we don't support it in other countries.
And we don't support it in other countries. And generally, we won't extradite people to other countries if there is a danger of them receiving the death penalty. Now, in the long term, there could be severe consequences from this for people who come to this country seeking asylum, because at the moment, we won't return people to their own countries if they are going to face torture or the possibility of being killed. Now, in the long term, this could affect that policy. That's what some lawyers are saying.
So why have they done it?
I don't know is the honest answer. I mean, look, this is one of those heart and head issues. My heart says I don't really care if these people die, given what they've done. But my head says, if we really change the system to what they're saying, we become almost as bad as them. We reduce ourselves to their level. We allow them to be made martyrs if they do get the death penalty, and I just can't see any upside from this policy.
And it sets a precedent then, doesn't it? Because other people are going to say, well, if you've done it once, you know, how do we then go out and lecture other countries when we've actually, you know, done this without discussion and without it sort of being, you know, put to Parliament, without it being generally agreed? And
it plays into the hands of Julian Assange as well, because he's obviously, I mean, I don't think he's afraid that he's going to get the death penalty if he's extradited to America, but he says, well, I won't get a fair trial. And, of course, if these two go to America, they will go to Guantanamo, and they will be tried by a closed military court, which a lot of human rights lawyers in this country say would not be a fair trial.
I think it's pretty shameful, to be honest, not just the actual... I know, for once in. I think it's not only just the fact that we're doing it, and you don't get to pick and choose. You're either against the death penalty. It doesn't really matter that the crimes that the people have been accused of are so serious, but the process by which this has been done, as Ian says, this unpicks decades of precedents in this country.
So I don't understand why they would do it. Why would they do it? Is it pressure from America?
I have to say, I do think that part of that, you know, this is a very, very high-profile issue for the Americans. These are two very, very high-profile people that they want to go after. It does strike me that we have been slightly craven in our attitude to America for a whole host of reasons over the last...
There have been extradition issues over the past couple of years where we haven't extradited Gary McKinnon and one or two others that we haven't extradited, so I'm not sure that's particularly fair.
Well, I think we've got a more craven attitude towards America in recent months. I think the Trump visit showed that, where we were just unwilling to criticise him in public at the very highest levels of government. And now it turns out the Home Secretary is writing letters that do look a bit nod and a wink, oh, we'll just put you over there, despite the fact that we've had these long-held views on the death penalty and whether we send people over to countries where they have it.